lot about me. Woo. Look at my numbers, I did a whole lot without them. Yeah. Little nigga. Still never dropped a mixtape, but I dropped the album. Drop that. Been singing so much, these niggas forgot I had it. They forgot that I started rapping. Got more bars in the South, got racist. These niggas like white people, chicken, they tasteless. They been in the now too long, can't face it. Feeling like white girl, booty can't shake. Treat the niggas like the road shut.
Okay.
Let's get real.
All right. Breonna Taylor. Y'all familiar with the story? For everybody out there that's not familiar with the story. First of all, this Oprah magazine is the first time someone's ever been on the cover outside of Oprah, and I think it's 20-year publication. I want to say that. Breonna Taylor was killed early this year on a no-knock warrant by Louisville police. They had the wrong house. The dude they already was going for was already captured, already arrested, and they just immediately started shooting shit up. And she took a couple shots, dead. 3 cops still walking around living their best life.
Wait, she didn't take no. Oh, okay. You say she received like she.
Yeah. She took shots like she got hit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Clarifying. She wasn't out there
she
shooting
didn't take
shit.
shots.
She was in her bed.
She just walked out and bam.
At this point, in my opinion, it didn't fucking matter who you rolled up in my house.
You was still fucking.
No,
wrong.
her boyfriend shot back because he thought he had intruders.
Charge him
because he thought he had intruders in his home.
But the thing is, if you got a couple,
which he did,
if you got a couple plain clothes or individuals just wearing clothes like us, walking your house, with guns, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna shoot back too.
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all hit the deposition of one of the officers, the sergeant that was there.
Well, hold a second before you bring that up, because I'm gonna pass it off to you soon. Oprah wrote an article just talking about Breonna Taylor. Talking about she had conversations with her mother too as well. Oprah did. Talking about how she felt about the whole situation. The article, I'll drop the link here too in the. I put it in the fan page, but I'm gonna drop it here in the podcast here shortly before I turn over to Dev. But your thoughts overall on Breonna Taylor still seeking justice about 5-6 months later, and also thoughts on Oprah and her involvement into the black community as well, because there's been some criticisms with that that we could talk about. Gayle King too as well, if you want to tie all that in too as well. Dev, take the mic.
So all right, so I'm gonna try to keep it simple, keep it quick. The sergeant that was on duty literally admitted that the initial knocks and the entry, they did not announce who they were. Right? He admitted it. He said, "We knocked, we bust in. It wasn't until after we had entered the home is when we announced that we were the police." Right? So that's it. Like, if you take that for face value, the sergeant, which is the ranking individual that was a part of this no-knock warrant, he literally says, "We didn't announce, we knocked, we entered, then we announced who we were." That speaks volume to the overall issue that people are arguing about as far as these no-knock warrants go, as far as justice for Breonna Taylor, as far as why her boyfriend was even locked up to begin with. If you can admit that, hey, we did this, we fucked up, and then we tried to rectify that issue after the fact, why is it that the individuals that's responsible for her death are still employed and not behind bars? That's an issue. Oprah. I commend Oprah for this. Again, 20 years of publication, give or take, whatever. This is the first time someone's been on the cover other than her. That's awesome. There has been a lot of criticism for Oprah and Gayle King within her circle because of how they have done and treated certain issues in the black community, from MJ, Michael Jackson, to R. Kelly, to Russell Simmons. Like how they quick to paint this picture, this narrative of black men and our individual icons, literal icons in the community, without getting full knowledge, the whole story being completely out there, right? So criticism aside, because I was one of those individuals like, yo, F Oprah for a while, F Oprah for Gayle King, you know what I'm saying? Because how they did MJ was wrong. Because if you realize, like, after that whole thing dropped, that whole documentary and that whole after the fact was taken off because they realized they misstepped. This right here is a move from one of the most powerful women in our community, the black community. It speaks volumes. And I don't think people really understand just how big it is for that to have happened. It was like when Obama was on the cover of Man of the Year magazine, you know what I'm saying? Like GQ, like as that president, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, if y'all understand what I'm saying, like this is huge. this isn't minor that Oprah took this step back to say, hey, this isn't even about me at this point. We still haven't received justice for this young woman. This woman, Oprah, as a billionaire, self-made, you know what I'm saying, that she worked and she grinded, and she's been an icon in our community, and she's been a literal pillar and an example for a lot of black young women to understand, like, yo, you can achieve greatness if you put forth that effort. For her to take a step back and put another black woman, and I'm not going to say that black woman this, black woman that, but yo, a lot of times in my community, in our community, that's that crab in the barrel mentality. Yeah, they like to tear each other down. You rarely see a black woman upholding and uplifting another black woman in such a public perspective, as well as black men doing the same thing for other black men. So for her to do this is saying, like, yo, me as a black woman, as a powerful black woman in this community, in this country, with this voice and with this platform, yo, we not gonna let this die. She's not gonna let this die. That's awesome to me. Awesome.
Aaron.
Yo. I'm sorry. I'll take care of business. So,
taking care of business.
Understandable.
Yeah, man. So I kind of felt the same way you felt about Oprah for a long time because of some things that she did, but and when I felt that way, I had to examine myself, and I'm like, well, why is Oprah doing this? You know, did she experience some of this stuff at the hands of somebody that looked like one of those people? Right? Somebody that looked like R. Kelly, somebody that looked like Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, right? Did she experience something in her youth, in her childhood? Because, you know, Oprah, you know, if you look at her background, she went through some things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we all are a product of our decisions and our experiences, right? So maybe she had some experiences that led her to think a certain thing about people that look that way. Anyway, whatever the fact, what she did before, I think what she did now, it's a big thing. But even beyond, so a lot of people are looking at Breonna Taylor as an individual incident, right? And they're looking at George Floyd as a separate individual incident, right? This dude was a criminal. Breonna Taylor just was a mistake, a one-time thing. But what they're not looking at is the persistent and over time, all these different individuals that have been dealt by, in whatever fashion, by the police, right? Black men are twice as likely to have an interaction with the police as white men, right? That's a statistic. Not saying that all those interactions end in death, but we're twice as likely to have an interaction. Why? Right? Is it because of the way we look? I would argue that it may be, probably is. But this one right here, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was a gun owner, I'm not gonna say that I am, I'm not gonna say that I ain't, but if I was a gun owner, somebody came in my house in the middle of the night, my first response is going to be to grab my gun.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so.
Without hesitation, right? And so I don't see how everybody involved in this situation is not, now they finally said the FBI is going to investigate, but I don't see how we got this far. What was that, February when that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, February, March, February, I think.
I don't see how, you couldn't come in my house and not expect some type of
don't try me, try Jesus.
Exercise my
Second
Amendment.
Stay dangerous. Awesome.
Yeah, I had when I first saw this, I was like, yeah, well, okay, about time, when it came to Oprah. But I had a conversation with Will earlier.
Shout out to Will Bowser,
my man Will Bowser. Y'all already know that's my big brother. And we were talking about it, and he made some points to me that made me rethink my position, because Oprah may have taken some stances that we can look at and look down upon when it comes to the black community, black men in the community, but she's been doing a lot for people in general, for humanity, for mankind in general, for so many years.
You get a car. You
know what I'm saying? Like, and stuff like that matters. And how many black people or people in general is she employing? How much does it take for her to keep those people gainfully employed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To take care of those people, the people close to her. How much does it take, regardless of how much money she has? Normally, the more money you got, the more people want you to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
So how many people that she actually knows personally is she taking care of and keeping everybody up? So then when I stopped and thought about it that way, I had to say, well, then this is just a good act. The same way there was another topic earlier this week, and I was like it's some stuff you want to go negative instantly on. This is a situation where I had to stop, have a conversation with a big brother, and realize like this is just a good thing. There's no need to talk about whatever negative may have happened with Oprah and us in our past, black men, whatever. It's simply let's praise the good deed that's being done, lift it up. And if we keep on bringing up people's past when they're trying to do good stuff now, we never leave room for growth. And all of us want to get to a position where we're good financially, and we wouldn't want people holding us to the same standards, holding us the same way we hold them. We hold current people at that position to past mistakes. We ain't gonna want nobody holding us that way.
Right.
So why are we doing it to them? And so that revamped my thinking on it. And I'm like, just more power to her. And thank you for giving more light, because Breonna Taylor stopped trending like a month ago when it came to social media.
Not on my
It
timeline.
was like,
Yeah, not my timeline either.
of course not on y'all's timeline, because
I mean, we all
y'all are
involved.
active
Yeah.
in it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
But when it comes on a global scale,
Trending.
if you just look at the trending topics, her name went away.
Yeah.
Oprah has brought it back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And and honestly, like even here on the podcast, talking this whole segment, just due to the fact she's on the cover of Old magazine, which brings so many things. Go Couch, take it over.
You or me?
You can go first.
All right. I'll keep it simple. Oprah, in my mind, has always been a giver, and with a lot of celebrities, they have secret charities that they don't really have to. They don't feel like they need to put out there, because when you're that high, people may think that, hey, that person's doing this for the fame or not. I've seen Oprah fly into a city. Her whole flight crew is black. She hires black pilots. She roots for everybody black. I secretly seen that. It's just what everybody else sees. So I was never really quick to judge Oprah, except for that Gail, all that interview. Yeah, you fucking up, But I think that even then we'll talk about something, and then some details come out later, and I'm like, well, dang, we probably judged them too soon. And I think that's what we do as humans. We see something, get judged too soon. I believe Oprah is, she with the shit, for lack of better words. It's just where she is, her business transactions, who she does business with. She plays a role. It's like you have to come in with that face when you go to work, depending on where you work at. You know what I'm saying? You code switch, for lack, it's what it is. So even then, I take I believe Oprah genuinely is a good person. I never really hated her. It's kind of like honestly, it's like I don't, let's not go deep into that, but it's like Kanye. We don't see what's going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
So behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. So and even then, when it comes to somebody showing up to the party, because everybody sees that everybody thinks she showed up to the party late, and people are like, oh, you showed. No, I don't care when you arrive. I'm just glad you arrived.
Right.
And you're here now.
I got you.
You with us now, in this mindset, and this is powerful right here.
You may be late, but you showed up.
You arrived. I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna hate on you for coming late to the party. There's a lot of issues we got, or not even issues, just like situations we have personally that we don't see clearly, and we show up later. Hey, you arrived.
Right.
Be glad they arrived.
Solid.
Right on time.
I could dig it.
Yeah.
Trev,
Ain't bad.
check your phone too.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying.
Nah, that's me. Go on.
Wow, crazy how that works, right? So I don't really follow Oprah all that much. I don't think a lot of people my age and younger really watch Oprah or really follow what she does.
At least you seen The Color Purple, right?
Hmm?
Bro, I didn't even watch the
Hey, the
Color
closest to
Purple.
the Color Purple.
Everybody out here
Yeah,
tonight.
he got a purple headphones. As close as it came to it.
I'm getting those back.
That's crazy. I'll go home and watch it. But
You don't have to waste your time.
oh. Anywho, so for her to like, kind of like you guys were saying, I think it definitely did bring the fire back to the conversation, so to speak. This is the first time I've really seen anything Oprah related as far as anything dealing with police brutality. As far as her like actually like doing some kind of gesture. Obviously, there's probably stuff I don't really watch her, so I don't really see what she does. But as far as like the whole Breonna, the whole thing going on, my biggest question with the whole situation is at what point does castle doctrine stop and police, quote unquote, doing their job begins? At what point, if they're executing a no-knock warrant, kind of like he was saying, if somebody is busting down my door, I have, quote unquote, I have the right to defend my home. Certain states, it's obviously they have their own doctrines and own rules, but most states you have your right to defend your home. So if I were to defend myself after you busted my door and you acknowledge that you didn't identify yourself, is it still fair for me to be charged?
It isn't, but we know better when you
But
fight the police.
that's the question I think that and he's kind of needs a springboard off of what has happened. Is at what point does castle doctrine end and police do their jobs, or is it? I think no-knock warrants I think are pretty redundant. Like I think that's ridiculous.
Should be illegal.
I think it should be illegal.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have a warrant, but you still should let it be known that you're entering the premises too at the same time.
Right.
But if you just break into your house and you get shot, I shouldn't be charged for that. I should, because I'm defending my home, which I have the right to do. And if you're in a state that you can have a firearm, I have a firearm legally in my home, I can legally defend myself. So at what point is it going from, okay, well, he was legally in the right for all this, however, he shot at a police officer?
Well, as what was it? From gun owners I know, prepared to be detained if you discharge a weapon.
See, but my question is that where's the NRA? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, and
I'm leaving it at that. I got nothing
Come
else.
on now, we know where they're at.
Where's the NRA? If that's the case,
Now on
and
your
I'm
side.
leaving it at that, bro.
The NRA, they are very wishy-washy. It's almost like they have a multiple personality disorder.